Hey everyone, welcome to the Paddle Talk Podcast. It's episode 59. We got a great show for you this week. We're going to talk a little Texas Mud Drags / Franklin County Four-Wheelers action. We're going to talk about the SPDRS or Speeders / World Sand Drag News Shootout coming up at Shelton's Dirt Drags. And we're going to talk a little winter projects. So join me, Caleb Mings, Damian Bowers, John Sorg, and Dave Applegate as we get right into it. All this brought to you by Racing in the Dirt. Hey everyone, welcome to the Paddle Talk Podcast. We're starting out tonight with our Speeders, which is Southern Powersports Drag Racing Series / World Sand Drag News event coming up at Shelton's Dirt Drags down in Kentucky. That is May 28, 29, and 30. Joining me to talk everything about that is our West Coast correspondent, Caleb Mings, Midwest correspondent, Damian Bowers, our Mid-Michigan correspondent, John Sorg, and Mr. Speeders himself, Dave Applegate, who has, returned to the chat. All right. And just a reminder, this segment, just like every segment here on the Paddle Talk Podcast, is brought to you by Racing in the Dirt. Out of Cleveland, Wisconsin. Racing in the Dirt. Everything from turnkey rides to parts to make your ride quicker and better for the 2025 race season. Wheels, tires, chain drives, you name it. Racing in the Dirt has the parts to get your ride into the winner's circle in 2025. So call them today. Area code 920-693-2000 or find them on Facebook or find them on the web at racinginthedirt.com. That's Racing in the Dirt or racinginthedirt.com. And remember, they UPS daily. That's Racing in the Dirt. All right, guys, so let's get down to it. Kentucky, end of May, James Shelton putting his magic dirt together. Dave Applegate, how excited are you for this race?
I'm excited for the whole year. I'll be honest, but let me back up for a minute. First of all, hey, everybody. Sorry, I've been gone for a while. It's been, 2-3 months, man. I've had a lot going on trying to get some things together. But anyways, yes, this race is going to be awesome. So was working on getting a date for Shelton's, and James had one ready for the weekend after my race in Silverback. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work. That's too close. He's like, all right. So we've been bouncing back and forth. Just hit me one day. I was at work and I'm like, well, shit. So I called Billy. I'm like, hey, you want to merge? And he's like, yes. So we spent a couple hours, talking about it. And I think it's going, Billy had a great race. Mine's been decent for the first year. It's not been, where I was hoping, but hey, I'm real happy with the way it went. And now we're going to put them together. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. And I can tell you, I think this particular race will grow over the years and get bigger and bigger and bigger each time. You know what I mean? So very excited about it. When we're ready here, I'll go over what Billy sent me. But we've got a lot of stuff planned. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be huge. We've got everything from really a stock vehicle all the way to 295.
Yes.
So
that is true. What do you have for some class structure there, Dave?
All right. So what Billy and I talked about, now most of this, so everyone knows, this is not a Southern, SPDRS race necessarily. Okay. This is going to be the World Sand Drag News race that Billy puts on, which I think is Bluegrass Shootout is what he calls it. So it's based around his race. I'm just going in there and helping him out, and we're adding some of my classes to his race, so everyone knows. Also, a lot of the sponsorship money that's going to come in for my series, this isn't really for that. There'll be a little bit come in, especially for the 295 guys. I don't want to say a number, but I'm working on a number that's going to make the 295 guys very happy. I promise you. But here's what we're looking at doing. Thursday, test and tune, 1 to 8 p.m. And again, Billy wrote this up. This is what Billy has decided to do. I just helped him with it. This is not, this is all Billy. Friday, test and tune, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. We're going to do a 295 challenge and first qualifying for 295. Now, I know that sounds a little confusing, but let me explain that. So Billy came up with an idea. He's calling it the 295 challenge. Basically, if you want to test and tune on Thursday, you can, but when you come in and a little bit on Friday, but when you are 295 challenge, you're basically, we're trying to do it off the trailer. Like pull it off the trailer, line up and go for it. And from what I understand, that will be a 1 and out, deal there. So, and then we're going to go to then it'll be first round qualifying for the normal 295 class. And this is all again Friday, and then it'll be side-by-side outlaw and 4x4 ATV outlaw, which is the SPDRS's classes. And again, that will be a qualifying run. And then we're going to do 4x4 ATV Pro Mod, which I changed that name. That is our NA class. So Caleb, that class is called with World Sand Drag News. I'm sorry. That's
the B ATV 4-wheel drive.
Yes. So we're going to give it kind of a cool name, for the series, call it Pro Mod. And side-by-side Pro Mod round 1. So we're going to run the Pro Mod classes out on Friday for both ATV, 4x4, and side-by-sides. And then he's going to what he is calling 50-50 cars, 50-50 ATVs, quick 16 cars, quick 16 ATV, and round 1 starts after that. So what I'm understanding here, what I'm saying is he's going to do these qualifying runs, and then at 8 p.m. is when the actual races start, which would be the 295 challenge. 295 challenge round 2, and then second round of qualifying. Caleb, I think you got this as well, right? Am I reading this right?
Yeah, I've got this here, and yeah, I think I haven't spoken with Billy on this. Just transparency on that. Just I've seen what he sent, yourself and myself too, Dave. And the way I understand it, the 295 challenge, I think that basically what this is we've seen this within like the Too Fast Too Tasty challenges in NHRA, where they're kind of doing a race within a race.
Exactly.
So I think that's basically what this is saying, hey, look, we're sweetening the pot on the qualifying. So not only it's doubling up as your second session for 295, but it's also they're actually racing. So there's going to be pairs set with that. And, however many top limit cars show up, you get 16, then, you're going to cut down to, your final 295 challenge winner within the qualifying sessions, which I think is super cool.
Yeah. And the challenge will be done by chip draw. It won't be laddered. It will be chip draw.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Just to clarify.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep. That makes better sense on what Billy was trying to say there. Because I got a little bit confused. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And then we go. Then we're going back into the side-by-side outlaw 4x4 outlaw. That will be qualifying round 2. And because the side-by-side outlaw and the 4x4 outlaw will be running on Saturday, as far as the eliminations go. And then they're going to finish the 4x4 ATV Pro Mod and the side-by-side Pro Mod, as well as the 50-50 classes in the quick 16. Then he comes down and he's got the running order of that, and this will all be, posted not only on World Sand Drag News, but multiple pages so people can look at this. It'll be a lot easier to look at it than us explain it. And then 295, 550 or 50-50 cars, 50-50 ATVs, the quick 16 and so on. Again, a little confusing. Caleb, he explained it like to the T, really. Then we go to Saturday, and then of course the kiddos come out. And I believe that's the normal thing. When the kids come out, nobody else is doing anything until the kids are done. When the kids are done, then we go into first time trial. Looks like sportsman cars, open bracket. Then we go to sportsman ATV, open bracket. Then he also has, which I really like, 395 index, 375 index, and a 350 index. That was kind of, that's going to be a big one, I think, down there for all the full size stuff. I think that's going to be cool. And then Pro ATV, which is a Pro Tree 440 and quicker. Then we get into the SPDRS classes. This is our outlaw classes, 4x4 ATV and side-by-side outlaw. Then 295, the final qualifying. These are all qualifying runs. And then 295 will begin at the end of the show for eliminations, is what he's got written down. You want to take over where the percentages are right there, Caleb, where it says class entry fee?
Sure. Yeah. So basically entry fees. I love all the classes with this. I just want to say, I think it's a really cool, like, combination. There's some, Thunder Valley Sand Drag stuff with the 50/50, the Pro ATV. That's a throwback to, Silverback. And then obviously we got all the index stuff. I love that Billy's going with the 395. We see that a lot out here on the West Coast. You guys are probably more used to seeing a 4.0 index, but let's face it, 395 sounds cooler. It's like a smaller top eliminator type deal. Yeah. So the entry fees and then the payback. So kids, it's $10. They're going to get trophies for that. No cash prizes for the kiddos there. The bracket classes. So this is the 50/50 classes on Friday. It's a $50 entry fee. And the name 50/50, 50% of that pot is going to go to first place. So it's a winner take all situation. Track gets half and first place gets half. For the Saturday open sportsman brackets, and this is both for the cars and the ATV side, it is a $40 entry fee, and we're going to do 80% payback, and that'll be split. I believe it'll be split first and second on that. He didn't write that down, but that's typically what ends up going down.
I believe
Quick
so.
Six, yeah. It just makes it fair. That way you get, your first and second place. You make it to that final, you're going to get some money back. The Quick 16 classes, again, that's for both the cars and the ATV side. That's a $100 entry, 80% payback on that. And then the Pro ATV, which again is that 440 and quicker index dial-in, is a $75 entry fee, 80% payback on that. Moving into the index classes that we're going to see on Saturday, the 395 index class is a $50 entry fee, 80% payback. The 375 index is $60 with an 80% payback. And the 350 index is $70 with 80% payback. So we're 80% payback across all the index classes. 295. This is going to be for the actual Saturday race. It's a $150 entry fee for that. And it's 100% payback to our top eliminator cars. Separate from that 295 challenge, and this is where, it's going to kind of get mixed in right there, because some people are just going to want to do it as their qualifying session. Some people are going to enter into that 295 challenge with the chip draw that John was talking about. That's an additional $150, but it's another 100% payback class. So essentially the top eliminator guys, if they really want to, have two full races back to back with the Friday qualifying and Saturday elimination. So that's pretty cool.
Plus whatever money that SPDRS was going to throw in on top.
Exactly. So, I mean, $295, any of the top eliminator guys out there, could be a pretty good payday with two classes you get to run and added prize money from SPDRS. So that's going to make for an interesting time out there. And then getting into the speeders classes, 4x4 Outlaw ATV Outlaw is $150 entry, 100% payback. The newly named ATV 4x4 ATV Pro Mod Natural Aspect class is $100 entry with 100% payback. And then that's mirrored across the side-by-side Outlaw and side-by-side Pro Mod. So $150 entry for the side-by-side Outlaw, 100% payback, $100 entry fee for the side-by-side Pro Mod class, 100% payback on that. Billy also did.
And
You probably get into
also
this.
keep in mind the 4x4 ATV Pro mod is actually our nationally aspirated class.
Yes.
So the reason that I changed the name is that way all the races that I'm doing throughout the year, it'll be a name that everybody will be familiar with in both,
Yeah,
side by side
super
and
cool.
you know what I mean? It's the same all the way across the board. So to make it easier.
Definitely. And then one important thing that Billy also wanted to mention with this, and this is important, especially for guys running the speeders classes, I would assume, you're getting a lot of the side-by-side racers out there, Dave. And what Damian is saying, or Billy is saying, excuse me, sorry, Damian, is that all of the anything that has a Powersports power plant, that is going to be allowed to run in both the car categories as well as the ATV categories. So this applies to all the side-by-sides, mini dragsters, mini buggies. If you've got a side-by-side, an ATV, a snowmobile, jet ski, whatever power plant, as long as it's Powersports, you are going to be able to run both the car classes as well as the ATV classes. So, I mean, I doubt there's going to be somebody that's going to go and run every single class, but man, there's a ton of classes that those guys can run.
I believe Billy said we've got 17 total.
Kind of looks that way. Yeah. There's a lot of classes there, guys. And it seems to me that if you want to make the trip to Shelton's, there's going to be a class you can run is what it boils down to. Whether you've got dragster, Jeep, snowmobile dragster. I mean, if you want to get out there and race, there is going to be some place for you to race is what it boils down to. So, John Sorg, I believe you are heading down there, correct?
I believe so too.
I believe
you might be.
We'll see what happens once. I mean, you never know. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, Damian Bowers, are you interested in coming as well?
We'll definitely see how things are going at that point of the year. There's a lot of that. May is awful packed, so we'll see how that goes. But if I can make it down, I'm going to try to.
Also good.
You know who I'm hoping goes?
Who's
Wayne Gunner.
Oh, wait.
And the reason is because the last time I was at Shelton's, me and Wayne went to the finals, and Wayne was playing a little bit of a little game with me, and I'm glad I got that. Let me tell you, it was tough. And he told me it. He goes, that'll never happen again. We ain't raced each other yet, but.
Dave, so is this an official call out?
The first round, I don't know.
Is this an official call out, Dave?
All Ford guys everywhere, you need to get this on your list and make that trip up from Georgia for that last weekend in May. That sounds like that's what's going on right there.
I think he's trying to intimidate him.
I think he is too.
I might. Let me see. I might be calling him out. I don't know. Hey, Wayne, you there?
Yeah.
Wayne is trying to put that big brain Napa know-how to work, buddy. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, he must talk to Ron Capps a lot or something. I don't know.
Awesome, man. No, it sounds like, really, guys, it sounds like a great race. There's a ton of classes. Yes, there are some of us that are still working on trying to work out vacation time and that sort of thing. I've already got some stuff on the schedule, but my goal is to make it there. And you know what? We'll just see what the weekend brings. Let's put it that way. Right, Dave Applegate?
Yes. The 2 weeks before that will be my first race for South, SPDRS at Little Sandy.
Very good.
We're starting at Little Sandy this year. So May 8th, 9th, and 10th. So 2 of them back to back in Kentucky.
Nice. I like it. All right.
I think it's gonna be cool seeing last year Billy kind of put together that WSDN race, and a lot of the car guys got their first taste of the Shelton's track prep, and seemed like a lot of people really liked it. I think Mr. Ellington really liked it, getting that dragster first time in the twos at Shelton's. So, I think we're going to see a bigger turnout, and especially combining with the speeders race. Like, obviously, a lot more of the side-by-side and ATV side are very well known with what Shelton's is like. And, they understand that track, that magic dirt, the amazing prep that Mr. James Shelton puts on there. And I'm really excited to see more cars go out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I am too. I think it's going to be a really good race. And, I have not personally been to Shelton's, been on my list for a while to get down there. Really looking forward, if I can make it work, to get there and be involved with it. So, all right, gentlemen, it sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. I think everybody's looking forward to it. And kudos to Dave, to yourself, to Billy, for getting the word out early. I think that's really important when you start talking races like this. Get the word out early, that we start talking about it, start getting it in people's minds. And it gives Wayne plenty of time to, Wayne, if you're out there and you'd like to come on the pod and just offer rebuttal, we're more than happy to host you as well. In fact, we would actually love it. So that would be
defend yourself.
That's right.
Come defend yourself.
Yes, come defend yourself.
Wayne, we'll get you on here an episode Dave's not on here, so you can really talk some crap.
Oh, absolutely. That would be fantastic. So,
well, real quick before we move on to the next one, if it's all right, Isaac, because you said getting stuff out early. For those that are watching and have been running with SPDRS last year, we're working on dates. We're working on sponsorships. Just going to do it real quick. As of now, this will be posted here in the next couple of weeks. And I'm sorry that it's late, but it's been a little bit tough here. May 8th, 9th, 10th, Little Sandy Raceway. May 29th, 30th, 31st, Shelton's, as we just talked about. At this point, nothing in June. July 18th, 19th, 20th, up there, John and Isaac's way at Silverback. August 28th, 29th, and 30th. Isaac, I was watching one of the podcasts the other day, and I got a kick out of it because you guys were talking about Willard. Good God, Willard. Anyway, Newtown. We will be going to Newtown. So you had said you was hoping that maybe a traveling, series would go. It's been in the works for about 6 months or better. So we finally got the date down. So we'll be there. September, I'm not going to do anything in September as of now because there's so many other series that's been around way longer than me, and there's so much going on in September. I just passed it up. We're not going to do that in September. And then October 9th, 10th, and 11th is Lumber River. And we will have a date from Tri-County Four-Wheelers in Lisbon. Hopefully on February 7th, we'll find out what that date is. So just wanted to run that by real quick. Keep an eye on all this stuff's coming out. It's been tough to get dates this year. So, but anyways, that's all I got, man. Go for it there, Isaac.
Now, I do have something to ask Dave over here. I know Cleves and Shelton's a little bit had him. God dang it.
It looked like you jumped way up in the air.
That's it looked like
in the world.
Wicked Witch of the West just took him away.
My phone doesn't want to stay in place. But with Dave's car, any plans to try and figure out how to keep the nose on the ground? Or at least make it go straight enough where he ain't got a lift up?
Yeah, it's doing way better. It's doing way better. Yeah. So it was real simple, to be honest with you. It's a good question. Obviously at, Gravel-Rama there, whatever, you know what I mean? John was there. It stood it straight up. Damian, I don't know. You said you didn't see it happen, right?
No, I was not there the night you stood her on end.
Yeah, I didn't know what the hell happened. All I knew is I was seeing Sky, and then the safety guys were there like, you all right? But anyway.
At least it wasn't Sky Dirt.
Yeah, it was a little bit, yeah, anyways. But yeah, it was basically, really, to be honest with you, I was leaving too hard. I just trying to leave at over 25, right around 25 pounds of boost at 5,300 RPM. I just turned it down, and it does fine. So it was a lesson learned. It was a lesson learned. That's all. I was trying to push it and found out that the car's just not set up to do that. So backed it off.
There you go.
Nice and simple.
Yep.
All right. So that is going to wrap up our first of what I'm sure is going to be many of the Speeders slash World Sand Drag News combo race down at Shelton's at the end of May.
And you guys can go and check us out, worldsandragnews.com. Make sure you guys go and check out the photo tab. We've got races all the way dating back to the inception of World Sand Drag News. Go back and check out our past galleries. We've got everything from the 2024 season. We've already started going on there with the 2025 season. Galleries up from Dome Valley Raceway on there. Get a shot of your favorite racer, or for your trophy case, your friends. Maybe you want to go and Dave wants to get a nice shot of himself to gift to Wayne Gunter there as a little bragging rights there. But we've got print options, digital downloads, everything in between. Make sure you guys go and check that out, worldsandragnews.com. Click on that photo tab and support us and support the sport.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to our next segment of the Paddle Talk Podcast. And this segment, just like every segment on the Paddle Talk Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt. Out of Cleveland, Wisconsin, everything from turnkey to parts to get your ride ready for the 2025 racing season. Racing in the Dirt, ready to help. Scott, Shane, and the crew always ready to assist to get your ride into the winner's circle. So give them a call. Area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or you can find them on Facebook or at racinginthedirt.com. So give them a call or get in contact today to get your program up to speed for 2025. That's Racing in the Dirt. All right, so our lead-in here is going to be, unfortunately, we already have a cancellation of a race. And it is not due to weather, as well, it's a little ways off. Damian Bowers, why don't you give us the official press release, and we will offer some opinions after that.
All righty. Unfortunately, it looks like due to some irreconcilable differences, what they're saying, Franklin County and Texas Mud Drags have decided to cancel the season opener May 2nd and 3rd at Franklin County four-wheelers. Unfortunately, they've come to a point where they can't agree on quite everything, so they're just going to either, for now, just cancel it. Hopefully something can be worked out in the future. That race was awesome at the end of last year, but seems not quite in the cards for this year.
That's pretty much the size of it. And that's, you know what? And let's be fair. This may happen more than what we know it does, as far as races getting dropped, or whatever. Sometimes things just don't work out, unfortunately. And while I know we were all really looking forward to it, Texas Mud Drags being in the Midwest, right off the bat in early May there, and having a couple races up this way during the season. Right now, it's just not going to happen at this point. Now, everybody that we have talked to here on the panel says that it is possible. It could come back around. We could be revisiting this story in a couple weeks or so. So nothing saying that it's dead, out there. But at this point in time, they're just having maybe some problems finding common ground to get this race done. So, John Sword, yes.
Why announce the race and then negotiate it later? And then find out you don't want to do it, and then you cancel it after you got everybody excited. No offense.
Yeah, that's it's a little tease there, isn't it, John? Like,
that's the way I feel, man. That's like putting on a stripper on a pole without. Well, we'll just stop there.
John,
no, I'm with you, John. I mean, like that's the sucky part with it, is that, we were all excited talking about the Texas Mud Drag schedule. Still got that one race where we're kind of speculating where they're going to be at, but it was going to be really cool to start it out at Brookville. And, like you said, John, like, why go and announce it without having all those details worked out?
Right.
Because I mean, like, look, hey, we get it. You guys, anytime that there's a traveling series, a host track, like, there's a lot of different things to negotiate with who does what, who pays for what. Like, that's part of the deal. But before you announce the race, probably should have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
Ducks in a row. I mean, before I announce an event, I talked to a lot of people and crossed my T's and dot my I's. And of course, there's always stuff you miss, but that's kind of a big one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't know all the ins and outs. But you know, obviously something happened or failed to happen or something of that nature. And at this point, we just go on what we have for the press release we have now. So that's pretty much where we're at. Dave Applegate, I see you've got your hand up. Now, remember, this is full-size racing. I realize it's a little bit of a foreign concept to you, so just make sure you filter that before you're going to chime in here, all right?
So sorry, guys. As most people know, I haven't been following a lot here in the last couple months. But I do remember something. I might be sticking my foot in my ass here, and if I am, sorry, but could it maybe be because they don't have enough sensors?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it just dawned on me
Wow.
like, wait a minute. I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't know.
I mean,
Shots
they had already
fired.
started making more reflectors. They were planning on having more than double of what they had from the end of last year. So
I can't say much though, because Isaac, me and you know, well, I haven't run it in a while, but you know, Lewis Cleaver there with KOI. And I've taken out a couple of his on my side by side. So I'm just as bad. I just, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, ask Lewis the next time you talk to him. Actually, I've got one of them on my shelf. He gave it to me when we left. He's like, here, take this home. It's sitting on my shelf right now.
You bought it anyway, so you might as well have it at that point.
Yeah.
little trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So yeah, kind of a bummer, but at the same point in time, you know, these kind of things happen, and you know, hopefully the two sides can, for the children, can find a way to amicably, you know, come back together and make something happen here. But we'll have to see. So
Totally. Like I said, I'm still looking forward to at least making Cleves. I'm hoping to make their Michigan race. Who knows if I can try and work something out and make another one, but I'm still looking forward to getting the chance to race with them at least once this year. Because last year that race was really fun. And again, as we've said in the past, Cleves and Michigan, it's going to be fun to see how they deal with those different surfaces.
You come to
Absolutely.
Michigan too?
yes.
No, Damian. For the Texas Mud Drags, you going to Michigan too?
I'm hoping to be able to take the Jeep, but no guarantees on that. I plan to at least go up there with the camera.
There we go. So, all right. So that is kind of a unique story, at least for us, coming there. We don't usually get to announce, well, we prefer not to have to announce cancellations, but sometimes, you know, it's necessary as well. So, all right. So that's going to wrap up that segment. Sorry to be the bearer of maybe some bad news for some people, but, you know, we don't choose the news. We only get to report what's out there. So, all right. And this segment, just like every segment here on World Sand Drag News, the Paddle Talk podcast, brought to you by our friends at Racing in the Dirt. Area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or you can find them on Facebook or check out their website, racinginthedirt.com. Everything from real wheels to tires to chain drives and other driveline parts, to roller chassis, to full-on turnkey race cars, Racing in the Dirt, ready, willing, and able to help make your 2025 season one to remember. So give them a call, find them on Facebook, or contact them through their own website. Scott, Shane, and the crew, ready to give you a hand and get your program where it needs to be. That's Racing in the Dirt. Hey, everyone. This is our wrap-up segment of this episode of Paddle Talk. And we're going to do some chatting with Dave Applegate and the rest of the panel on some recent events and that sort of thing. But first, Caleb Mings has an ad read for us to get us rolling.
If you guys want to go and support World Sand Drag News, the best way you guys can do that is to buy our photos. We got all of our guys out there doing the hard work, covering all these races, and we take some awesome kick-ass photos of your sand toy, ATV, dragster, Jeep, you name it. It's been shot. It's been edited. We've got them up on the website. Go check it out, worldsandragnews.com. click on the photo tab and you'll see all of our galleries from the 2025 season all the way back to the inception of World Sand Drag News. Go and click on each of those photos. You can view the different options. We've got digital downloads as well as a ton of print options. So you can get something for your trophy case, for the house, for the trailer, for whatever your need is for the photos. Get that. Support World Sand Drag News. Buy our photos.
Awesome. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Dave Applegate, we'll start with you. What is that over your left shoulder?
A tire.
And what size tire there, sir?
Big.
That looks meaty. So what are you up to?
It's almost as tall as John Sorg, as a matter of fact, the last time I looked. But anyways, what's that?
So what are you up to with said tire?
All right. So we'll keep it short. Imagine me saying keep it short. Anyways,
Yeah, right.
driving down state route 32 on the way home from a race. I think it might have been Silverback actually on the way home. And this guy goes by me, or I passed a guy with a truck and trailer, and he's got this little rail in the back. And I'm like, well, that's strange, you know, and here to find out it was Mark Hembry. Is that right, John? Did I pronounce his last name? And so we pulled over to the rest area and we just started talking. And actually I went live on World Sand Drag News and did a little short interview with him on the side of the highway. Some of you may have seen that. And before we left, you know, we were talking and I didn't know it that John Sorg had one of these rails. I didn't know it. I had no idea. And Mark told me about it. And so I called John. Next thing I know, things are going. And I now have John's, which Mark had it at his house. So at Christmas, I met John and Mark at Mark's house and picked up the dragster, and it's sitting here at the house right now, putting it together. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to get into the power plant side of what we're doing here. Some of you know, most of you do not, but it's definitely, I don't know, John, something way different than anyone else has done that we're aware of. But I needed a certain type of back half. And John, take it from there. Where do we get the back half from, bub?
Well, we found the back half up here in Michigan with Scott Stanek, who happened to buy the old Sidewinder car off of, let's just say Jeff Mamer.
Yep.
And now that back half is on the back of my old car.
Yep. And then Caleb, you sent me a shit ton of pictures of the old Sidewinder. I think, Caleb, you were more excited about it than me and John there for a few minutes. Like, what are they going to do? Looking up each sending me picture after picture. So really excited about it. But that's these are the wheels and tires off of Scott's car. Now I think the wheels were on the Sidewinder originally, right, John? I don't know about the tires,
those actually came from a different car at Frank Pfaff. Off that red buggy. You remember that, Isaac?
I do.
Jake Pfaff drive.
That
those are the 200s.
Most recently was Mike Bolyard, if I remember correctly.
So those tires came with that car with Mike Bolyard, and they didn't work out for Mike, so he sold them to Scott.
Okay.
Okay. But I think originally one of the first pictures I think I had seen of the Sidewinder was on 2000s back in the day. The original Sidewinder that Jeff had, and Pops Mamer cruising in the vintage John Deere 6-wheel Gator up and down to pick him up. I mean, if you remember that, well, you've dated yourself a little bit, but also those were some fast times, so to speak. So,
well, I can tell you, one of our main sponsors that everybody knows is Racing in the Dirt, right? So I got a hold of them, and they are going to build the wheelie bar for this rail. So, which is pretty awesome. So, yep, I gave him the measurements and whatnot. I'm not quite there yet. I have a bar I'm looking at it now. I got a bar I got to put in it just yet, but they're going to be the ones that's building the wheelie bar for it. So happy about that. But yeah, power plant wise, I don't want to get into that right now, John. I know you know, but I'll be honest. I don't know, John. I don't think it hurts to say this. We're definitely looking for 290s. So we're shooting for it. That doesn't
Dave,
mean
it's
it'll
okay.
happen.
You can
That's
tell
the
everybody
goal.
it's a 2JZ. We're everybody
Yeah,
understands.
no, it's not 2JZ.
Not quite.
No, no, but again, it may not go 290s. I mean, I don't know. We all know how that is. No matter if it's blacktop dirt or your street car, you always got a goal, and sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. But that's the goal, is to get it in the 290s.
It'll be there.
Hell, at this point, if it fires up and just rolls, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? So,
He's like, man, if I get this sucker
long way
from
to go. Long way to
if
go.
I
This
get
is
it from
not
the garage to the trailer.
Man,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll tell you this, Dave, the autograph book that you're putting together with all the different parts and pieces from all these different racers, if you've been around the sport in a while, man, you got some heavy hitters that have contributed to this build.
Major
Yeah.
history in that car.
Yes, and that I'm glad that you mentioned that. So again, this is not going to be an overnight project. I don't have very deep pockets, so it's going to take some time to get it together. I do have a goal to get it done by the end of July, but we'll see.
Dave's
but
gonna start an OnlyFans.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I'm broke now. I'll really be broke if I do that. So, but anyways, the idea here that me and John talked about, and Caleb and Isaac, and I don't know if we told Isaac this or not, but on the body, on the top, like if you're sitting in the car and the little windshields here, and then you go down a little bit, that area right there, our plan is to do, and from what I've been told, Stu, what's his last name again, John?
Spears.
Stu Spears?
Yes, the one that built the chassis years ago told me today when I was on the phone with him. He's like, yeah. And he's like, you better be ready to write a book. So what we're going to do is Murray Powersports, who is one of my sponsors, we're going to do the wrap for it. We're not, I'm not going to paint it, just wrap it. But in that area, it's going to have the best that we can do with John, Isaac, Damian, Caleb, Stu, whoever can help. All these pieces and parts, we're just going to name, like, it don't have to be the month, but like the year. This guy had it this year. This guy had it this year. Blah, 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 all the way down right on that hood. I think that'd be really neat. And where I got the idea, John, I'm going to need your help on this. When we was at Lisbon at Tri-County Four Wheelers, the dragster that was there, it was in memory of his son, I think.
Darling.
Darling, yes, thank you.
With Andrew's Dream.
Yep.
Andrew Dream. Yeah, so on the hood of his, or I'm going to call it the hood, the top of the body of the dragster, it had a memorial, if you will, for the racers that's lost. You know what I mean? That's no longer with us. And that's kind of where I got that idea. I was like, man, that was really cool. And then I thought, well, man, that might be kind of neat to put it on the body. You know what I mean? Like all the people that's owned it, where the back half came from, where the chassis came from, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, and Stu told me today, he goes, it's going to be a book. So, but I'm excited about it because Caleb, you've been a big help in telling me, what all you know about these two different vehicles that are now one. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. I'm hoping it turns a lot of heads. I'm hoping it runs well. Hey, if it makes some rounds and it goes in the trailer on its own power, I'm tickled to death. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's what it's for.
Johnny,
Now,
refresh my memory. Is this the chassis that you ran with the big wheelie at Albright?
It is.
Yeah. That car is famous. No doubt about it, man. That is an iconic picture.
Well,
it was.
And the thing is, and now, John, I think, I don't remember what it was originally, because when I got it from John and Mark, it didn't have the back half on it. You know what I mean? Well, the back half was there, but no rear end, no nothing. So we were kind of guessing on wheelbase, but right now, the way I've got it together and welded together, we're at 200-inch wheelbase.
Nice.
So why don't you flip that camera around and give us a preview?
No, we're not ready yet.
Yeah.
We'll do that on the next one.
Man,
We'll do that
this
on the
is
next one.
a little sneaky peeky.
Yeah, well, if
We'll do weekly check-ins to make sure that you're still making progress.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We're making progress. It'll be there. It'll...
Dave, no matter what happens, at least we know this. Unlike when Johnny was in it, it looked like some kid stuffed in an oversized junior dragster. At least it'll look like you're driving the correct car,
It'll be more proportional.
Proportional. It's right,
Well, the funny thing is right now, you guys will crack up, and I'm sure others that are watching right now, actually probably every one of us right now was done this. You know, you got a chassis you're working on or a car, and you're like, man, I don't know what color to paint this damn thing. There's 5 different colors on the chassis right now because it's getting blasted, you know what I mean, to get, redone. And I'm like, man, I don't know what color I'm going to go with. There's orange, there's 2 different types of gray, there's hammer paint, there's John's purple, there's Steve's black. Like, there's more, I don't know. Oh, white. So I just been like painting here and there. Like, does that look good? Nah, I don't like that. Well, it looks good. No, let's go to this color. So yeah, we're not, just give me a minute. We'll get her. Yeah.
Hey, it's the return of the Bob Kelly 5 flavor special, Johnny. Remember that?
Oh my God, it looked like a fishing lure.
Hey,
And I
tell you,
swear to God, I thought he had a sponsorship from Lifesavers.
so down at Edgewater in Cincinnati, where, from the blacktop, there was a car when I was a teenager, maybe early 20s. I don't know whatever happened to the car. But it was called Family Feud. And I think it was an old AMC Javelin, if I remember right. I don't remember what it run. It really doesn't matter, but it was called Family Feud. And the car was painted like the first 2 feet of the car was one color, then another 2 foot or feet of the car was another, and it was all his kids and family. And the car's name was Family Feud. So it was multiple colors striped. It was the weirdest looking damn thing. But yeah. Yep.
Oh, my word. That's awesome. Well, Dave, we're looking forward to all kinds of updates. I think it's going to be a great summer with that thing. And yeah, really, really excited for you and to see what it's going to be. So love getting back, so to speak, on these kind of retro cars. And, everything that's old was new at one point in time. So really, really excited to see that. So, all right, gentlemen, anything else before we kind of wrap up our segment and this episode? Going once,
good.
Going twice. All right. So I will wrap things up with this. Our friend, Alan Reinhart, formerly the voice of NHRA, has found a new home. That's right, folks. It didn't take long. Alan Reinhart.
Is he coming to World Sand Drag News?
What's that?
Is he coming to World Sand Drag News?
I don't know. We'll have to see once. That would be pretty sweet if it did. But he is coming. He's actually moved over to the IHRA side of things and has taken over there, helping them out and taking a position with them. So congratulations to him and IHRA making some moves this off season, and should be an interesting summer on the pavement as well. So that being said, folks, this episode and this segment brought to you by Racing in the Dirt, our friends out of Cleveland, Wisconsin, supporting us. Buy their stuff. Simple as that. You can find them, racinginthedirt.com. Give them a call, area code 920-693-2000, or find them on Facebook. That's Racing in the Dirt. So long and good night.